I've got my shoes. I've got my shoes. You have to read the book. There's a whole paragraph on FM shoes, if you know what that means. I haven't worn these 20-something years. They're 20 years old. Look how good condition they are. Look how often I wore them. Like once, 2 times. Hey, you have to read the book. Okay, where were we? Oh yeah, the book. All right, this is the D. Louise book series. I'm Kristina, Kristina. I have no special effects. I can't do the pointing thing that everybody else does because I'm a horrible editor. I don't have editing skills. I can't buy the equipment. I have no money. I just read books. I just talk about books. My lighting is bad. My sound is bad. And that's it. I like series books. I'm a series person. I like to read the progression of characters through a series. Also, I've started a new Boggle. Come play Boggle with me. 1 game every day, about 6:45 or so. And whoever gets the most unique words gets a shout out the next vid. Hey, today we are doing The Reluctant Vampire, Argeneau, book 15. Whoa, we're moving along here. Now, it's kind of hard to. Right, so, book 1 was Quick Bite, Lynsay and Dr. Gregory. She had a phobia of bloods, and he was the psych that was going to treat her. And these are all Marjorie Argeneau is the family matchmaker. She's aunt to everybody, and she's the family matchmaker. And I tried to make a tree, and it didn't work out very well. We'll get to that later. But in the earlier books, if you get a right edition, you'll see a tree in the earlier books. And I'm a genealogist too, so I love family trees. Where was I? Oh, so book 3 was Single White Vampire. I lost my rose. It's around here someplace. Lucerne and Kate's. And Tall, Dark, and Hungry was Bastion and Terry's. A Bite to Remember was Lucian and Lee's. And we will get to that. Wait a minute. This is important. Bite to Remember is Vincent Argeneau and P.I. Jackie. These characters will come into play in book 13 and a half, I believe, is Cupid with Tiny and Marabou. And Tiny also plays a part in the current book, so we'll get to there. But so A Bite to Remember, then Bite Me If You Can, which is Lucian's and Lee's. Accidental Vampire. This is important. We'll keep this out. We did Love Bites. All right. Vampires Are Forever is Inez and Thomas's. And then Marguerite finally gets her comeuppance in Vampire Interrupted with Julius. Now, that was like the family portion. Now, we left this out for a reason. We'll get to this. So then we had the whole second set of the series. Now, the second set of the series is it's like a soap opera. And the first part of the series was introducing the core of the family groups. So now we're splitting out into cousins and distant relatives. So, in book 10 starts the new storyline. The Rogue Hunter. And this starts a new storyline. So you have, like in the Carolyn Sparks series, the At Stake series, you have the good vampires and the bad vampires. And in the Sparks series, they're malcontents. And then you have the good vampires. In the Sand series, it's the good vampires, and then there's the rogue or the Leononis group is the other side. So there's been this report that there's a rogue hunter up by the cabins. So the Lucian, president or whatever, head family member of the Argeneau, sends 3 vampire police or enforcers, Garrett, Justin Bricker, and Decca Argeneau, to the cabins. And in that particular story, they're tracking down the rogues, but in the meantime, Garrett and Mortimer fall in love. Garrett and Samantha fall in love. Now, Samantha is one of the sisters. All right, so let's just do that for a second. So then in The Immortal Hunter, and this book, they connect. It's like it's one story. The first chapter in this book should have been the last chapter in this one, but it's not. So in the last book, they were hunting for the rogue hunter, and at the end of the book, they think they catch him, and the guy Grant says, "Hey, look, I'm only doing this because the secretary is not sending my order out." So that, and then he says, "Oh, by the way, Nicholas is here," and they're like, "Oh my God, Nicholas! We've been looking for him forever." Yes. Can I help you? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Hello. I don't want to be on camera. I like to be behind camera. So in The Immortal Hunter, so they start looking for Nicholas in this one, and Nicholas' story, they come across Leonos' descendants while they're chasing for Nicholas, and Leonos' descendants have kidnapped 2 mortals, Danielle and Stephanie. And in the search to rescue these young ladies, Danielle and Decker decide that they're life mates. So that's their story. But Stephanie is still held captive. So then in Renegade, they finally get Stephanie back, but they consider Nicholas the rogue hunter, for his crimes because he killed his wife. So they investigate that. And then, who is it? Josephine. Samantha's sister, Josephine, becomes Nicholas's life mate, and she figures out that, having recently been through this in the book, that Nicholas is missing pieces of the event that happened that day. So she figures out that Nicholas is innocent, and they work to prove his innocence. So then in 13, Born to Bite, they go to Nicholas's father, who's also had a similar situation with the wives dying. So they clear his name in this. Armand just gets a new life mate, Eshe. Then, Hungry for You, the last sister, Samantha and Alexandria and Alexandria. What was the other sister's name? Josephine. So Sam, Josephine, and Alexandria are the 3 sisters. So, and she gets her life mate in Hungry for You. So then we are up to the Reluctant Vampire. Now, we've talked about Stephanie, the Danielle's sister, Stephanie. Danielle found her life mate in Immortal Hunter, book 11. So Stephanie plays a key role in this. She was turned by the Lioness group. She wasn't turned by the Argeneaux. And the Leonos' group want her because she's got some extra powers. She's got some good powers. And Stephanie is a trip. She's hysterical in this book. So the setup is that she needs to be, if you read, I don't have it because it was an ebook, but Cupid, which is book like 14 and a half. Cupid, it's Maribel and Tiny from the where is it? Where's my list? From Fight to Remember, the Jackie book. Tiny is from that book. And him and Maribel hook up in 14B. It's the Cupid book, it's an ebook. So then, while they were hooking up, they were taking Stephanie to the safe house up at the. So they take Stephanie to the new safe house, which is the town from Accidental Vampire, book 7. This is the book that makes your eyes roll back in your head, because Elvie didn't take the time to read books. She learned how to be a vampire through movies. So she was sleeping in a coffin with a little bit of dirt, and she wasn't going out in sunlight, and she was afraid of garlic and couldn't go to church. She believed all this stuff from the movies. So it turns out that she had been on a vacation and then was a vampire in her car. And when the car overturned and the vampire got hurt, he got cut and her mouth was open and blood dripped into her mouth, and that's how she got turned. And then, so the whole town knows that Elvie's a vampire, the entire town. Okay, that's important to know, the entire town. So they take Stephanie to Victor and Elvie's house so that they can watch her and protect her in a town where everybody knows about vampires. And everybody, so if lioness people show up, and the road counters have been, the match pairs have been taking turns babysitting Stephanie. And they're also afraid that Stephanie might go home because Stephanie misses her family, because her memories of her were wiped from the parents' memories, so they wouldn't grieve too hard for Stephanie and Danielle, because they've been turned vampires, and once you've been turned a vampire, you can't go home again. So they're afraid she's going to go home, and they're also afraid that Lioness is going to come get her, because Lioness wants Stephanie to be the mother of his future children, since he lost so many children fighting the Argeneaux in the previous books. So they take Stephanie back to Port Henry, the town in here, where everybody knows about vampires. So one of the new sets of people coming in is Alexandria. She goes by Drina. And I tried to do this. Let me just make this line. Okay. So Alexandria Remus, and they had Lucian, Armand, and Victor. And Victor is Alexandria's father. So she's like massively, massively old. And Marguerite is up to her old tricks again of matchmaking in this book. And Stephanie explains a lot about the matchmaking and how it's done. She is a very smart young lady. She's very intelligent. I'm looking forward to her book. And so we have Drina, or Alexandrian, sets up with Harper. Now, Harper recently had his supposed life mate die about a year ago. It turns out that his life mate wasn't really his life mate. The whole thing is explained in this book, and the Port Henry chief of police, Teddy, plays a huge role in this book. He's immortal in this book, and he plays a huge role in explaining things to Harper that he didn't know, that Harper didn't want to face. And so there's that stuff. There's a big reveal there. There's Big reveal with the shoes. There's so much fun in this book. This book is so much fun. It you have to giggle out loud. Stephanie is just so good with the one-ons. She really is. And there's a lot of relationship angst between Alexandria, Adrena, and Harper. And Harper has to learn to accept a few things, and then he has to learn to accept the fact that she's his life mate. And in the meantime, someone cut the brake lines of their car, and someone set fire to their house. So you'll have to find out who done that and why by reading the book. And also if the revelations that come through this via Teddy and the person that's pursuing Harper and wants to kill Harper, there's a big, huge reveal. And if we can get through those two things, we can get Adrena and Harper together. And we will do a bonus book here for you all. Like I said, in this book, the chief of police, Teddy Brunswick, plays a huge role in this book. And he gets his own book. This is book 15B. I should do a separate one for this. But maybe I will. Most of you don't watch the end of videos anyway. I mean, come on. So, Chief of Police, Port Henry. You know those cabins that are in these books? Well, he goes to the cabins every year at Christmas because he doesn't have any family. And at Christmas, the whole town takes pity on him and starts bringing him casserole dishes and brings him presents and takes. It makes him feel worse that all these people feel that that they should do this for him and make him welcome at Christmas and all their different parties when he's 100% alone. So he goes up to the cabins, and here comes Marguerite with her matchmaking skills. And she sets him up with Katrina. And it's a whole relationship book. It's just romance. It's just romance in this sort of story. And it's The Bite Before Christmas with Lynsay Sands and Jeanine Frost. And Jeanine Frost is... Lynsay Sands is the gift, and Jeanine Frost is home for the holidays. And Cat and Bones are looking forward to a normal holiday. I read that series. We'll have to do that later on. So check it out. Please hit the like and subscribe. Let me know I'm doing a good job. I need all the support I can get, So please hit the like and subscribe. Let me know I'm doing a good job. I hope you enjoyed the book. Thank you.